Hello, everyone. Welcome to the exploration of the 2026 US economic outlook through the lens of Vedic astrology. So, I'm going to walk you guys through the lens of Vedic astrology. What does the economy look like? So, to understand the US economy in 2026, you must look at its cosmic DNA. I call it under Vedic astrology, the US operates on a Dhanush Lagna, or what we call Sagittarius ascendant, with a Kumbh Rasi, meaning Aquarius moon. This dual nature dictates both its structural systems and its public market psychology. On a data driven trajectory for 2026, it reveals a year of massive structural realignment. If you look at this graph, on one side I have the economic strength index, the other side I have volatility index. This is based on the three Vedic transits of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu. So, and there is a math behind it. We look at the Shadbal, the sixfold strengths. We look at the Vargas, harmonic charts, and also look at the nodal moments. And based on that, we come up with this certain indexes, economic strength index and also volatility index, which is again based on, the aspects based on position, aspect, conjunction, and various other factors. So when I do the math and when I come up with this econometric model, what it shows is that it reveals a year of massive structural realignment. What you're looking at is a story of early credit squeezes on aggressive mid-year global capital surge and a sharp late-year regulatory correction. So, what are the drivers? Um, I call this a massive pivot that occurred on June 2nd, 2026. So, the US ascendant lord, we call it Jupiter, is a very important planet for US as a country. It becomes exalted in Cancer, so which is eighth house, we call it. So it acts as an aggressive fiscal insurance policy for the country, and it triggers an unprecedented influx of foreign capital fleeing, global instability. Now, but however, they will be able to manage massive debt obligation through strategic refinancing. And also, you will see major windfalls from corporate tax restructuring of the national debt, and massive inflow of foreign capital seeking shelter from global instability. And we are witnessing that actually, if you start looking at it, very important. The second factor is the Saturn. The Saturn is transiting right now through Pisces. So from the ascendant, it is in the fourth house of real estate and banking foundation. That's one of the reasons that, this transit will demand that US government pass austere measures, face labor strikes, and rebuild its economic foundation from the ground up. And also it has impact on real estate and banking foundation. From the moon, this is the most challenging part for US, and this has been the reason for last 5 years of so many protests and so many disruptions and all that we are witnessing at a leadership level and also on streets. And that is going to come to end in next 1 year, because 1 year, 1.5 years, the Saraswati 7.5 years of Saturn transit ends. So this is at the peak, second house of liquid assets. So we can expect a persistent structural drag on housing and banking reserves all year. The Rahu transits, I will combine Rahu Ketu as well, because when Rahu is transiting in the third house, which are shadow planets, it supercharges the American technological hegemony. Through the autumn, we see underlying growth in artificial intelligence, aerospace, satellite communications, and semiconductor manufacturing. Innovation thrives because despite the underlying banking strain because of Rahu Ketu transit. This is very, very good in many ways. So this is one of the very positive factor I would, you know, I would say. And also the Rahu position from the moon will cause sharp emotional swings in market indices, massive rallies followed by sudden panic driven sell offs based on rumors or sudden regulatory news. So it's another important factor to keep in mind. This Ketu is very similar to Rahu, but here what happens is that Ketu will make America an isolated country. What does it mean? It more adopts an isolationist America first stance in business contracts and also uh, leading to foreign nations to view American market partnership with a high degree of unpredictability. Also, you will see that this Ketu in Leo until November 26 will cause sudden, shocking Supreme Court rulings. You can see major shifts in immigration and international treaties, and a general public's skepticism towards traditional American institution values. But it is all good. It's not bad. It makes America more conservative, more inward looking. That's the way, because it's a very, very uh, Ketu Rahu, and especially Ketu makes a person very spiritual. We say it makes a person spiritual, more inward looking. So that's what is happening at a mundane level, at a country level, when you start analyzing in that way. So when I look at the Vedic strategic playbook for 2026, I always say in quarter one, defend it. Quarter two, quarter three, ride the tech. Quarter four is liquidity. So your playbook is clear. Accumulate defensive commodities and cash reserves in quarter one, which is gone. Now we are in quarter two, quarter three. Exalted Jupiter market surge. Ride the equity rally. Focus on defense, AI, and biotech. Late quarter three, speculative market peak, like I showed it in the graph. Aggressive, take profits, move capital to liquid, low risk assets, because you need to move your capital to liquid and low risk assets based on this analysis. Because quarter four, currency and regulatory shock. Expect that there will be some big currency and regulatory changes coming. So hold high liquidity to capitalize on deep asset discounts post November. Very important, and this critical windows to watch for. What critical windows to watch for? Exalted Jupiter window, which I already said, June to October 26th, the peak economic window of the year. Real estate receives the temporary lifeline. Corporate earnings surprise to the upsides, and global capital pivots heavily towards US equities. Late November, December, nodal shift, because Rahu Ketu will shift, in December, and that effect will start in November because of Jupiter retrograde as well. So it's a high macro risk according to me. The exact shift of Rahu into Capricorn, triggers currency stress, unexpected monetary policy pivots, and steep decline in speculative retail trading markets. Very important. November 2026, that's what I was discussing in the previous slide. But here I'm just showing you that the November 6th, the nodal shift radically, or November 26th, sorry, to December 5th. That's the time frame, depending on true or average uh, node shift that we consider in our Vedic system. But generally, what it will do is that the Rahu Ketu will intensify the volatility of the US dollar. So sudden updates to banking regulations can happen. There could be aggressive push towards digital only currencies. And also it cuts off tightening of global credit markets. So sudden tightening of global credit markets and a sharp correction in speculative tech stocks. So all these are expected in this period of time as per my analysis. So my strategic recommendation is, as per Vedic astrological risk mitigation, mid-year June to October is Jupiter exaltation. That's the window to take profits on highly speculative assets. Rebalance your portfolios before the late November market correction. Sector focus, I would say defense tech, telecommunications, automation, and pharmaceutical biotech innovation, which means basically healthcare innovations. The liquidity cushion, which is very important given the Saturn's restrictive pressure on the US, which is the reason for last 5 years, 6 years of so much unrest and things starting to get slowly better. That continues till next June 1st. So it's very important that because it impacts the second house of liquid reserves, I would advise hedge funds or people who are trading or in big portfolio asset managers to keep cash or cash equivalent instruments handy because it's crucial to exploit the asset discounts expected in late quarter four. So keep that in mind, okay? So I tried my level best to analyze everything together and put it all in uh, 11 to 12 slides presentation so that this is very helpful to any hedge funds. Um, this is my legal disclaimer and notice, no professional advice. You take your individual responsibility. And this is just an analysis based on the Vedic astrology. So it's very important for you to consult with them, professionals to take important decisions. Consider this as a tool. That's all I can say. And if you need one-on-one or you want long-term consultations, retainer-based consultations with me, reach out to me at www.amazingraj.com and our team will reach out to you and we can discuss how to work together. If you're an individual who wants a consultation, of course, I always do that too. So you can reach out to me and we can sit and do a one-on-one to understand your life patterns, what is your life, your career, your health, your relationship, and a total 360-degree about your life. Have a great day and hope you have a great trading. Hope you do well in life and everything works out for you. Have a great day, okay?